So if we're solving with fractions, the golden rule is always to get rid of the denominator first. And by the denominator, we mean the bit in the bottom of the fraction. At the moment, we're dividing by the denominator on both of these, and therefore to get rid of it, we need to times everything by that denominator. So that's all we're going to be doing to get rid of it. So we need to times both sides by 3, and that gives me x minus 2. Now I'm timesing by 3, but then I was dividing, so that's why we don't need to write any of that in, because it undoes it. So I can just write that as x minus 2, and essentially I've now got rid of that denominator. And that's equal to, and I need to times the other side by 3, so that gives me 6. Now I can solve it, so I'm going to add on 2 to both sides, and that gives me x is equal to 8. And that would be my final answer. The next one, we're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to times by x plus 1. We're going to times by x plus 1. And you can see here how important it is to make your x's and your times look a bit different from one another. So again, on this side, on the left-hand side, it's just going to undo my denominator, so it's just 3x. And on the right-hand side, I have 5, and I need to times it by x plus 1. But I don't want it to accidentally look like 5x plus 1, because I'm timesing everything by the 5. So always put brackets in to remind you. Now you can see I need to multiply out the brackets. So 3x is equal to 5x plus 5. And now I can start to tidy this up. So I want to get rid of the smallest number of x, minus 3x. That gives me 0, because there's nothing left on that side anymore, is equal to 2x plus 5. Now I can subtract the 5. So minus 5 is equal to 2x, and therefore minus 5 divided by 2 is equal to x. Now some people might do it differently from this point, and that's fine as well. So you could here subtract the 5x, and that would give you minus 2x is equal to 5. And then you could divide by the minus 2, and that would give you the same answer. So that's also okay to do. Either of those options is fine, as long as you get your final answer as minus 5 over 2. Some slightly trickier fractions. So on these ones we need to multiply both the denominators. So I'm going to just take one of them first. I'm going to take this one first, and I'm going to times both sides by y minus 2. And that's going to give me 8 is equal to 10 times y minus 2 over y plus 1. And now I need to times by the y plus 1 on both sides. And that's going to give me 8y plus 1 is equal to 10 y minus 2. And now we can solve it in exactly the same way that we normally would. Another way to think about this is that you're cross multiplying. So this part is coming up to this side, and this part is coming up to this side. But that only works when you have one fraction is equal to another fraction. If you have anything else, it won't work. So doing the same thing on this question, we would times first of all by the y plus 3. And then once we've done that, we can times by the y minus 4. And then we end up with our final equation, which we then need to solve in exactly the same way that we normally would. One other thing to think about when you're solving a fraction equation is if, for example, we had y over 3 plus 1 is equal to y. We know that we need to get rid of the denominator first, so we're going to times by 3 times by 3, and that gives me y. Now I need to remember to times every single term by 3, so that's this one, which gets rid of the fraction, this one, and this one. So I have 3 separate sections here, all to times by the 3. So this becomes plus 3 equals 3y. Then I can do my subtract by y. So 3 is equal to 2y. And then at the end we can divide by 2, and that gives me 3 over 2 is equal to y. So don't forget, on those kind of questions, you must remember to times each term by the denominator. So including this one here, which is often forgotten.